Today I'm going to be showing you how to make my mom's cinnamon rolls. I have no idea where she came up with this recipe, but she made them all the time when I was young. When I was about 18, she finally told me that she actually doesn't like cinnamon rolls, so if I wanted them, I would have to figure out how to make them myself. So over the years, I have tweaked her recipe a little bit just to make it my own, but it all is derived from the original that my mom gave me when I was 18. So without further ado, we're gonna get started. Today I am going to be showing you how to make this recipe in a bread maker. This is just for the first rise, so as opposed to making this portion of the recipe by hand, using all of your elbow grease, you get to dump everything into a bread maker and just let it sit for an hour and a half, which is great. So the very first thing we're going to do is take the basket out of your bread maker, and all of your ingredients are going to go right in here. Make sure you have your attachment in here. I've made that mistake before. So make sure your paddle attachment is securely in your bread making pan. And the very first thing we're gonna do is add our dry ingredients to the bottom. So I've got 4 cups of all-purpose flour here. And then we're gonna add 1/2 cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon of salt, and 5 teaspoons of bread maker yeast. This part is very important. If you are using a bread machine, it has to be bread machine rapid rise yeast. It cannot be any other kind of yeast or it won't work. You'll add 1 egg, a 1/4 cup of melted butter, and 1 cup of warm milk. After you've layered your dry ingredients on the bottom and your wet ingredients on top, we're literally just going to put this into our bread maker on a dough making setting. That should take somewhere between an hour to an hour and a half for all of these to get mixed together and for that first rise to happen. So we'll be back after this. Once your dough has doubled in size, we're gonna go ahead and make the filling. For that, you're going to need a 1/2 cup of melted butter, and you'll combine that with 1 cup of brown sugar. Then you're gonna add in 2 to 5 tablespoons of cinnamon. That just depends on what you like. I'm doing 4 tablespoons because I like very cinnamony cinnamon rolls. And the last thing you'll add in here is 1 cup of chopped pecans. You can use walnuts. I hate walnuts because I think they're very bitter. I prefer pecans. So you'll add those into this mixture. It should be like a wet sand kind of texture. So you'll remove your bread from your bread maker and then you're just going to punch it down. We'll just flour the surface a little bit. And then you're going to shape this into a rectangle. So if your bread maker is already a rectangular shape, you are in luck. Once you have a basic shape down, you're gonna grab a rolling pin and just start rolling her out. So you'll want this to be 20 to 24 inches in length and 14 to 16 inches in width here. We're gonna go ahead and we're just gonna spread our filling mixture all around this dough. Starting on the end that's closest to you, you're going to start rolling your rolls up. Using a serrated knife, you're gonna cut off first just the ends here because there's nothing in them. And then you're gonna start making about 2-inch cuts, being sure, again, the serrated knife is important here, being sure to saw through them, don't push, otherwise you'll clamp the ends and they won't rise. And then you can set these guys on their sides. If this is a 13 by 9, this is just a takeaway pan, which is a little bit easier if you're giving them to friends or family. I like to put the ends together because they're usually a little bit smaller. So you may end up with one extra roll, and that's okay. They'll all swell up to fill this area anyway. And then you're just going to put a wet towel, cotton breathable kitchen towel over them. And then you'll set these aside for about an hour to let them rise a second time. Once your rolls have at least doubled in size and they're nice and squished in your pan, you're gonna put them into a preheated oven at 350 for 25 to 30 minutes. While those are in the oven, you're gonna go ahead and make the icing for your cinnamon rolls. We're gonna do that with 8 ounces of cream cheese at room temperature. And then you're gonna cream that together with a 1/4 cup of butter, also at room temperature. You'll add in 1 teaspoon of vanilla extract and 2 tablespoons of milk. Now we've got 2 cups of powdered sugar. I'm gonna add this about a cup at a time. And again, you'll want to start your mixer on low and then work its way up to a higher speed. Otherwise, you will fling powdered sugar all over yourself in your kitchen. And that's all for your icing. The last thing we're gonna do here, after these have cooled off just a little bit, we're gonna go ahead and frost your cinnamon rolls.